What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Hurls and Smallz show. Coming at you after week, what was this, week six? Week six. I wish I could say a pretty eventful week, but not at all. But before we get there, Smallz, man, how you doing?
Man, in the terms of life, I'm doing wonderful. I get to talk about a sport I love with a friend I love. It doesn't get much better than that, man. And when it comes to football, we had a good Monday night game. The rest of the week could have been better. It was all predictable.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do our best to give y'all some analysis, but it's just, you look at the game, and whatever you think happened in this game, you'd probably be right about it. So,
like I said, literally could have took the what were we talking about earlier? You could have took the money line on everybody, and you would have walked out a millionaire this week. You could have put your life savings on it, and you would have walked out.
A little bit. Millionaire is crazy.
You would have walked out with some decent money. This was the most predictable week of all time. You know, we did our predictions last episode, and we were only wrong on one each, and that's only because we wanted to disagree with each other.
We're just being goofy. Yeah. We should have both been perfect because it was so predictable.
Yeah, I was telling you before we started that my brother had literally just bet. We went with the odds and it all hit. It literally all hit. Besides the Colts, he went with the Colts instead of the Titans, and yeah, it all hit. I think the Colts were the only team that he went against, like that went against the odds.
Yeah, but we both picked them too.
Yeah. Like I said, an uneventful week, but.
How you doing, man? I don't ever ask you back.
You see, that's the thing. I always think about it. It's like, why doesn't Smallz ask me? I ask Smallz how he's doing, but it's like the people never get to know how I'm doing. It's just
true.
But I'm doing all right. I got off of work today, pretty early day. I got off at maybe 10:45, 11ish. No, this is pretty early for me when I get off, but I know we're recording a Whoa! It's 12:20.
Exactly. It's almost 12:30.
What the hell? Well, I got off of work early. We're not recording early. I got off of work early. But yeah, it was a pretty high day. Didn't do much of anything really prior to work. Tried to watch these games back and figure something out about this week. I couldn't really manage to do that, but I'm doing pretty decent though. I can't complain. But we can get into the football stuff.
Before we get into anything, as always, I would like to let y'all know we're one away. We're at 49, one away. Just one of y'all, please hit that subscribe button. 50 is a little bit of a milestone. I mean, in the long-term goals, it's just a small step, but every step matters. You can't skip them when you're 95 years old. You got to go up all of them. So leave us a like if you already subscribed. If you do both those, give us a comment to help us with the algorithms and everything. And we're always in the comment section.
Absolutely, we are. Yep.
Give you feedback
on the TikTok as well. You guys have been showing a lot of love on the TikTok. If you're not already followed, I'll put it in the description. I might leave it in the comments too, but go over to the TikTok, follow that, interact with us on there. We're probably a lot more on the TikTok as well, but yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend, show some love, and we appreciate y'all. Go ahead, Smallz, Absolutely. Take it away.
Every Thursday episode, which I guess our Friday releases for y'all, I have been doing bold predictions, and I'm gonna review those a second. For anybody that followed along with me, I would like to sincerely apologize. They were all major misses.
Yeah.
First one, Jalen Pope. I thought he would have major chemistry with Drake May. That fella didn't do a damn thing, and we'll get to that in the Patriots game, but he let me down. I think he had one catch for 6 yards. Major miss. The second one was a Kyle Pitts boom, and he had 70 yards. He had a good game overall, but I predicted him for 102 touchdowns, and he didn't score.
Yeah, but no, he definitely had a good game. Yeah,
he did. Third one, Spencer Rattler, top 7 quarterback in the week, and he started this game looking very okay. Not start. They started and he was okay, but then the second to early third quarters, he
had a stretch where he was good. Yeah.
And I was like, that was good here. I'm gonna look smart on that one, and then he. Fell off a little bit, but he had a good game overall. I'm not upset with that for a first ever start from a 4th round pick, something like that. And then final one is one that I stand on that I believe hit. I predicted the Jaguars to bounce back after that good win last week and get destroyed this week. Last week. And get destroyed this week.
Okay.
Yeah. Which they did, and I thought that Doug Peterson would get fired, but as Herlin's alluded. They're in London back-to-back weeks, so I don't only think Doug Peterson should get fired once they get back home to the States, but I think their OC should get fired as well. And honestly, just shut the whole group out. They all suck.
Absolutely.
Because Trevor Lawrence has looked good, but that's
and
about
Trevor was solid on Sunday. He was very solid. You know, he had like 4 touchdown passes dropped, but yeah.
He can't play offense, defense, and special teams.
No, he can't. Was that all for your bold predictions?
Those were all 4 that I had. Yep.
All right, we can get into everyone's.
I vow to be better next week.
Hopefully, because we got people tailing you, and you're just losing them money,
I'm not allowing
losing
Carson,
them their fantasy leagues. We need you to be better. The people need you to be better. But everyone's favorite segment, as I've said before, I get a million DMs, and my DMs are flooded. I can't even open some apps because people are begging for the overreactions, bro. I'm telling you, the people love the overreactions, and I'm gonna keep on coming with them. I got 4 this week. They're not anything too crazy because, like we said earlier, this week was kind of just whatever. Everything you expected to happen happened, but I tried to come up with the best I could. We'll start off pretty light. We saw a couple rookie quarterback debuts this past weekend. And the one that stood out the most is that guy over in New England, Drake May. So this isn't too hot, but, he did start he started off his rookie season late. What is this, week 6? He started in week 6. But Drake May will finish at least top 3 in rookie of the year.
Overall, or for these 5 quarterbacks?
Overall, so whether it's Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison in it. No. I tried, man. I tried to come up with what I could. I tried.
But he had a decent game against a good defense. I don't believe he should have started this game because for a first start, if you're going to start him, put him out in week 1. But you throw him out into the fire against the Texans, and he looks okay. He had a couple drops. He had a couple good passes. And,
his first touchdown pass was a beauty. Might have been the best pass of the weekend. It might have been the best pass of the weekend, to be honest. It was a beauty.
Overall, he looked a little bit better than Rattler.
Mm-hmm.
But Rattler had a good game as well. And then, like you said, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Romo Dunze, guys like Thomas. That. Exactly. Yeah, it's already Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams at the very top. Mm-hmm. So you just got to have one of those receivers be number 3. I find it very hard for Drake May to sneak up late. But
okay.
I would pretty easily take the no on that, though. I think that's a pretty big overreaction.
Okay, this one might be a little hotter. So, there are 2 5-0 teams in the league, as you know, the Vikings and the Chiefs. But both of them did not play this weekend. They were both on byes. Yep. So, my overreaction is the best team in the NFL played this weekend. Whether you want to say it's the Lions, the Ravens, the Niners, the Bills who just won on this Monday, whoever you want to say, the Texans. But the best
Niners
team
didn't play this weekend.
The best team in the NFL played this week.
I will say that I think that's an easy agreement because it's 2 teams versus the whole field. Mm-hmm. Well, it's 2 teams versus the whole field, but I do think that when it comes to the postseason, the Chiefs are a whole different level. Mm-hmm. The Vikings have looked very good so far. They've impressed me, and I'm proud of them. But as you know, I'm very high on the Ravens. As you know, I'm very high on the Texans. Mm-hmm. And then in the NFC, I think the Lions, even with Hutch going down, the Lions are just a different level of a football team right now. Mm-hmm. So I would say no.
No, so the best team didn't play. You still think it's the Chiefs or the Vikings?
No, I'm sorry. The best team did not play. Did play. Holy cow, that just
so the best team did play.
Played this week.
And which is the Ravens, you think?
I think it's either the Ravens, Texans, or
the Lions.
Fair.
All right, moving on.
What do you think? You think the best team played this week?
I do. The Detroit Lions played this weekend.
Okay.
And I think they're the best team in the league. All right, moving on. We talked about this one a little earlier prior to starting the show, but the NFC North is looking like the best division in football by a mile. Not even close. I think the worst team in that division is 4-2, because you have 5-0. You have what are the lines? 4-1. Then you have 4-2, 4-2.
Yep.
So 4 wins for all 4 teams. But the NFC North has a better chance of getting all 4 teams into the playoffs than they do of only having 2.
I agree. I think that. So for y'all that don't know, I told Herlins this is his segment, but if he came and didn't have this in there, I was gonna bring it to him because I think that it's never been done before. There hasn't been a division to have all four teams make the playoffs. The AFC North was close last year, and man, is that division bad this year. But I personally think the Bears are the worst team in this division.
I don't know,
wants to play
man.
that Bears defense.
No, man. See, look,
exactly.
I wanted to come with an even hotter take for this one. I was gonna say, you know what? Forget it. This is the overreaction. Only 3 teams will make the playoffs in the NFC North, and the Vikings are gonna be the team not to make it.
Well, who's surprised at that one? For anybody that's watched, this man picked us to have 1 win all season. The Vikings.
It was 2 and 15.
Sorry, 2. Whoa, big difference. You got 2 and 15, and now you're saying that we're gonna miss the playoffs. Wow. You shocked me on that one, brother.
You know, maybe that last game we seen from Sam Darnold is the start of the decline. Maybe they start to see the regression, him going back to.
No.
It's just an
I don't care if
I don't care if the Vikings lose
every game to this division. They lose both to the Bears, both to the Packers, and both to the Lions. They still make the playoffs.
If the Vikings go 0-6 in this division, they are not making the playoffs.
They are still not making the playoffs. I guarantee the Vikings make the playoffs.
I'm not saying they're not. It was just part of my overreaction.
I know.
And I even said that was a little too hot, so that's why I didn't even bring it.
I have more faith in the Vikings than anybody other than the Lions and the whole NFC.
That's ridiculous. I don't care that they beat us. I'm taking the Niners 10 times out of 10.
Y'all aren't the best team in your division.
Oh, I will walk out of this damn room. How the hell are we not the best team in this division?
Record-wise.
We literally are. We're number 1 in the NFC West. But if the season ended today, we would be number 1 and have the division win. Because we beat the Seahawks this past Thursday.
Y'all got y'all asses whooped by the Vikings. Whooped. You see what they did to Brock Purdy? You said that the Niners were going to go in there and make Sam Darnold.
Are we in week 2 review or are we in week? Okay, so let's keep it going, please. This is the week 6 review, not the week 2 review. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay, give your last one.
The NFC East has not looked very good this season. Except for one team. Mercy. The Washington Commanders.
Yup.
The Commanders are the only playoff team from the NFC East and will win the NFC East by at least 3 games.
No, I disagree. I think the Eagles are better than 3 games behind. Nothing against the Eagles. I want to see them miss the playoffs because I want the whole NFC North to make it. I think it would be so cool if we got history and a whole division making the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I don't know if that'll happen. I think that if that doesn't happen, the Eagles get in the playoffs. The Cowboys, I'm sorry, any fans out there that watch us, y'all not making it. You got one weapon on offense and he can't do everything.
Yeah.
But I agree that the Commanders are the best team in the NFC East. I think that they will be an upper tier, like a 2-3 seed maybe, but I disagree. I can't say the Eagles will be 3 games behind them.
No. All right, well, that's all I got for overreactions this week. I tried my best. I tried to come up with what I could. Like I said, it wasn't too crazy of a week, but yeah, I tried. We can move on. Did you have something else you wanted to?
As we getting into our reviews here, as y'all know, we do our pick'ems every week, and as we mentioned earlier, we should have been completely right on all of them. So, anticlimactic week. Tune back into our next previews. Our preview episodes aren't doing the best, but that's kind of expected. We appreciate anyone who does watch, but our pick'ems fun, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm up on you still, whether we go week by week or total.
Yeah. Moving on to the Week 6 review, starting off with another Early
Let
morning
me get my
game.
blanket.
Early morning
Tuck back
London
in as you
game.
talk about
We
this.
got another one next week too, but the Jaguars, man, fall 35-16, fall to 1-5 to the Chicago Bears. Go
It was
ahead,
ugly.
man. Go ahead.
And I saw this coming. I didn't think it was, I think you might have said it was going to be a close game, but you picked the Bears. I never saw it being close. I think Peterson has far worn out his welcome. Even without the Bears, in my opinion, the Bears' best defensive player in Jaquan Brisker, they still made it look easy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch a ton of this game. I woke up a little bit late. I think it was like midway through the second already, so I missed the whole first quarter. And I put the game on and I was watching, but I went and made my coffee and made my breakfast. I didn't really care. The Bears are just head and shoulders above the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, you look as good as you can, but especially with ETN going down and you don't have him anymore, he can't do everything. Brian Thomas was slowed down. Gabe Davis has been horrible. Christian Kirk hasn't been the guy that he was last year. I don't want to cut you off,
but I don't know what people expected Gabe Davis to be. I don't know why Jags fans or any fan in general expected Gabe Davis to come to the Jags and just be this number 1 or number 2 just amazing receiver. All he ever was, his stock just apparently, it was that playoffs where they had that game with the Chiefs where that overtime crap and they switched up the rules for that game, where he had those playoffs where he was just amazing. And coming into the next season, his stock just rose for some reason, and people thought he was going to be some amazing, just talented receiver all of a sudden. And I remember in fantasy, people were drafting him super early. I never understood it. All he ever was just a deep ball threat. That's all he ever was. Granted, he's still not even doing that with the Jags anymore. He can't do anything, it seems like, anymore. But I really don't get why Jags fans or any fan just thought Gabe Davis was going to come to the Jags and be something he never was.
Well, I didn't think he would be amazing, but Christian Kirk looked really good last year, and all Gabe Davis ever was to me was just an off-speed to Stephon Diggs.
Exactly.
And if that's what he was right now, they're in a way better position. He's just, like you said, he hasn't done anything. And it's sad because...
And you'll see you're going to look at the box score and see 2 touchdowns. You're like, oh, he was... No, he wasn't good. He was not good. He was not good. But go ahead.
You never want to root against a guy, but...
Whoa, I'm not rooting against them. Is that what you're saying? Damn.
No. I'm saying. I
was like, damn.
I'm saying with him going over there, and you want him to be better than what he is, but he's not. And you, at some point, you just gotta be okay with that. You can't can keep thinking that that's who he's gonna be.
Definitely. And the Jags just continue to just beat themselves every single week. They just beat themselves. I literally texted Suge. I was like, is there a team in the league that beats the Jags, beats themselves more than the Jags? Like, I don't get it. Whether it's penalties, turnovers, dropping the ball, like, I just don't get it. Trevor Lawrence has played really well this past weekend. He does make a couple where it's like he'll just make a crazy overthrow, and it's like, what the hell, Trevor? But then other than that, he'll look damn good for the rest of the game. But he just has that one throw where it's like, what just happened? But Trevor he can't do it alone. He cannot do it alone.
No.
Brian Thomas dropped one. Gabe Davis dropped $1 million. I think Christian Kirk dropped one too. Evan Ingram fumbled. Man,
Evan Ingram looked good overall though.
Yeah, but as I said, you were saying, like, I said the Jags season was over when they were like 0-3 or 0-4, and you're like, no, they could have this little stretch. They were not going to be. Their season was over, and it still is over. I'm sorry to say it, but the Jags, be expected a top 3 pick in this upcoming draft. Start scouting. Your season's done. But to the Bears,
kills me because
go ahead.
Posted that picture on Twitter of the dude just standing there looking at the line. It makes me laugh every single time, dude. Because that's got to be how he feels. But go ahead.
But for the Bears, all I really wanted to say, I've been saying it all season. Caleb Williams, man, that progression. I was talking about his mobility, but the way he stands in the pocket, and the way on Sunday he went through his reads. There were so many times where he wasn't throwing to the first or second guy. He was throwing it to the third or fourth guy. There was like a clip where it was a close up of him, and you can literally see him going receiver by receiver and went all the way across the field.
He went all the way back to the left.
Yes. He's going through his reads, standing tall in the pocket, and just delivering the ball, man. He is playing his ass off. And I'm so happy to see how far he's come in only 6 weeks. Who knows what he's going to be by the end of the season? But that's literally all I have to say about the Bears, because You played the damn Jacksonville Jaguars, but continue.
One of my favorite things in football that is kind of an outlandish thing. I love a quarterback that is good at hitting the seam. And Caleb has been wonderful, whether it's getting it to Keenan Allen or getting it to Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet had a fabulous game, by the way.
He's been playing really well this season. He's been playing very well this season.
And I love Cole Kmet. I have since he got drafted, so it makes me happy seeing him ball out over there. But Caleb is already one of the better quarterbacks in the league at finding the guy that's just running straight. And I don't know if you saw the little... They had a play where they had a guy run from the left side to the right in like a motion, then they tossed it left, and then the very next play they flipped it the opposite way, and they faked that, and then it was a play action, and Cole Kmet was running right down the seam, and it was the easy touchdown that he broke the tackle and fell in backwards. Yep. I'm not the biggest Eberflus fan, and Shane Waldron had very much upset me in the first couple of weeks, but from all the reports, it was like Caleb Williams, Cole Kmet, and a whole bunch of other guys went to Waldron and was like, hey, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. And he has been, and they've looked great these last 2 weeks, man.
Screen passes in the first 2 weeks, we're not cutting it. We're not cutting it. But go ahead.
Don't even get me started about a screen pass, dude. I hate that. Oh, my gosh, I hate a screen pass. We don't do much college football, but Ohio State lost on Saturday to Oregon, and Ohio State comes before everything in my heart. We run 100 screen pass.
My Ducks and Dylan Gabriel.
Who's their receiver? Exactly. We run since Dylan. Ryan Day got hired, dude. He loves his screens, and it's like 1 yard, 2 yard. You hire Chip Kelly this year, and he's the talk of the town. And yet you're still doing these screen passes.
Chip Kelly.
I want Ryan Day off of my team so bad. So bad. Let's move on. Buccaneers at Saints.
What a weird game. What a weird game this was. Because the Bucs looked like they were going to run away with it early. Then the Saints just scored every single point they had literally in the second quarter. All 27 were scored in the second quarter. Then the Bucs were just like, all right, we're just going to go win this game. It was so weird. Yeah, it was so weird.
This game starts off 17-0.
Yeah.
Before halftime, it's 27-24. And you're like, uh-oh, what have the Saints got here? What's Spencer Rattler doing over there in New Orleans? And then it's just an absolute blowout. And Baker had, I think he had 3 picks.
Yeah.
But he had 4 touchdowns, and his touchdowns were more impressive than what his picks were. Any other quarterback, you see 3 picks.
You're like, oh, he was terrible. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
But Baker balled, man. Yeah. You can't take anything away from him. Marshawn Lattimore, I don't know if you saw him, but he's typically not a very, like, you can't see his emotion when he's neglected on his face. A picture went like viral of him where he's just sitting on the bench and like he just looks so sad. And former Buckeye, I hate seeing him like that. If the Saints, you're gonna be bad, move my boy somewhere else, please. I know it won't happen, but it makes me sad. But one of the few things I have to say is that every Saints fan in the world should just absolutely adore Alvin Kamara and write him as many thank you notes as you can. Because since Drew Brees has been gone, he's the only thing keeping y'all out of poverty. That man is just unbelievable at football.
Yeah, and it's not even like he had a crazy big game or anything. But no, definitely.
I'm going to piss you off real quick, but I'm going to do it on purpose. I stand with Michael Thomas.
Oh my gosh. We can move on. Bro.
Shout out Paulson Adebo. He's having one of the weirdest seasons in football for a corner. He either is yanking somebody down and getting a flag, or he's looking elite. There's no okay, that's a decent Paulson Adebo play. Yep. I don't know what to think of the guy because there's no middle ground. It's either bonehead or brilliancy.
Yeah,
figure it out, please.
Shout out to the Bucs run game. Sean Tucker and Bucky Irvin. Yep, they both look good. Rashad White, we'll be seeing you. We will be seeing you.
Don't say that.
We will be seeing you.
Don't say that.
We will be seeing you. Also, shout out to Chris Godwin. Had himself another big game. He just continues to just be exactly. But as far as Spencer Rattler, there were definitely flashes. It wasn't the greatest performance or debut or anything, but there definitely were flashes. Like you said earlier on, there, like early in this game, you're looking, Spencer Rattler's out there doing his thing. You know, he's carving them up a little bit. You know, he's getting them down the field. But you know, do you think, because it's an oblique injury for Derek Carr, he's going to be out a few weeks. Do you
They stick
think
with Spencer.
we see Spencer for the rest of the season? How long do you think Carr comes right back in once he's healthy?
It depends, I believe. If we get to like week 11 and the Saints are, what would that be, 2-8 or whatever, then no, there's no reason to put Carr back in. If they're 4-6, maybe. I think if they're less than less than one game below 500, then he goes back in. If they're a bad team, there's no reason to put him back in.
Makes sense.
I believe that Spencer Rattler is good, though, and I think that the world overreacted to Kubiak too fast. I think he's a good offensive coordinator, and he will get better as time goes on. But the Buccaneers they blitzed a lot in that second half and towards the end of the second quarter, and he just didn't have a lot of adjustments to it. And at some point, you got to look at the scheme that the defense is throwing at you, and it's you got to have a reactionary play call. You can't just be whatever you want to do. So, heal up to Olave and Rashid Shaheed. Apparently, Shaheed has a pretty decent knee injury, and Olave got a concussion.
I was playing, I don't wish on injuries, but I was playing Chris Olave, so that definitely helped win me my week this weekend in the sleeper league. But we can move on to what a lot of people said was gonna be game of the week, and
should have been Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. But I thought I don't want to jump too far ahead. I thought Giants and Bengals was gonna be a damn good game, but
still should have been Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, definitely. Baltimore Ravens beat the Washington Commanders 30-23. Jaden Daniels, man, I know he lost, but my goodness,
God, he's so good.
Go ahead, man. He is so damn good. This is not a rookie. There's no way this is a rookie player we're watching. Because the way he's able to just make plays outside of the pocket, stand tall in the pocket and make plays, keep his eyes downfield, it doesn't make any sense. He had like two third down conversions that were just like, you needed them. Or the game was over late in that game. And then I think it was on fourth down where he threw that touchdown to Terry McLaurin on the left. They're like, my goodness, bro. To be a rookie in your sixth game, to be looking like this already, albeit in a loss, but man.
Terry McLaurin is almost 30 years old. And at Ohio State, he was incredible, dude. And I thought coming into the league, I think he came in the year after Michael Thomas, and I thought he was going to have the same trajectory as Michael Thomas. Not the same player, but like just tier-wise. And he just hasn't had a quarterback to get him the ball. So a guy that is going to target Terry and realize the talent that Terry has and actually be capable of getting him the ball, I'm all in. I love Jaden Daniels so much. Even if he played for any other team, he is just electric to watch. We haven't seen a rookie quarterback this good since probably CJ Stroud. But
yeah, I was gonna say since last
he's
season.
Unbelievable, dude. Between him and Caleb, I don't know who's gonna win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
but this is the conversation where it's like, do you do the co? Probably not. But
no, they won't do it. But yeah, absolutely.
I love watching this Commanders team. Jonathan Allen tore his pec, so heal up for him. I hate to see that. The defense will get worse, but their offense isn't going to slow down. They're going to put up points no matter who they're playing against. And unfortunately for them, they played the Ravens, who have one of the best offenses and defenses in football.
Yep.
But if they play anyone in like the mediocre tier, the bad tier,
them. And
they're destroying them.
As good as Jaden was against the Bengals a few weeks back where they put up 38 and he was making every deep ball pass, I think this was his best game. I think this literally was Jaden Daniels' best game for the team you were going up against, and for you to perform that well, stay that calm under pressure, trying to make the comeback down late in the fourth quarter, finding Terry McLaurin. This definitely was Jaden Daniels' best game to me.
Ben St. Juste had a really bad game, but shout out to Noah Igbinoghene, or however the hell you say
I know who you're talking about. I think he used to be a Cowboy.
He's been, I believe so. He's been really good to start this year, though. And he's still only like 24 years old or something like that. So hopefully he keeps getting better for their sake. But on the other side, the Ravens, you get your first Mark Andrews game,
did we watch is Lamar Jackson the MVP?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would agree. But go ahead. I just wanted to ask.
The only reason I didn't pick Lamar going into the season is because I don't like repeats.
And he's already had 2. It's like, are they just gonna? There's no way they just give it to him again. But shit, I mean,
He's so good, dude.
Go ahead though.
But shout out to Mark Andrews. He caught that little touchdown, and he just had
Why
overall.
gotta be that little touchdown? Like, why does it have to be that little touchdown? He caught a touchdown. That's it. Because that little touchdown, he caught that touchdown or whatever. That's what it makes it seem like. You're just nullifying what he did. That little touchdown he caught over there, man. That don't mean nothing.
Was it not a little touchdown? It was like a 20-yarder.
He caught a touchdown. That's it, man. Continue.
But Zay Flowers had 9 targets for 9 receptions and 132 yards in the first half.
Yes.
Now don't look at his second half stats because he didn't even get a target, but still, overall, that's a good game. And Derrick Henry has been the best.
The offensive player.
If Derrick Henry was
close. The offensive
yes, you got the MVP, and close. Yes, it's disgusting.
And not to make this about the Cowboys, because we will get to them. We're going there. The Cowboys. Jerry Jones before this season said, "We're all in. We're all in on this season. All in. All in."
Well, yeah, they went and signed Zeke.
Derrick Henry's there. Saquon Barkley's there. Joe Mixon there. We went through all the running backs that were there. You do nothing. You stand pat. You just pay your guys. And look at what you're doing now.
And they didn't even want to do that.
Exactly. You waited to pay Dak, I think, what was it? Into the season? Was it after week one or something like that?
I think it was the day of.
The day of. Yeah, it was the day of. And then you pay CD, a week and a half before the regular season? And to look at what Derrick Henry is doing for the Ravens right now, I think it's 700 yards already. 6 weeks in, 700 plus yards. Just had 24 for 132 and 2 touchdowns.
He's got like 9 touchdowns already.
Oh my! The offensive play of the year, and it's not close. It's not close.
He has more rushing yards than Will Levis has passing yards.
It's insane. It's insane. And I was saying that this running game isn't going to be good. It's not that it wasn't going to be good, but it's not going to be as effective if the Ravens can't get it. It doesn't matter. Derrick Henry, he turned back the clock 7 years, I guess. It literally just doesn't matter. What the Ravens, I think it was like 2 years, $14 million. They got him for $7 million. You weren't willing to pay up, Jerry Jones? Or the Titans? You weren't willing to give him $7 million? You didn't even call him, Tennessee. You literally didn't even call him. You just let him walk. And now we're seeing Derrick Henry paired up with a guy 16. Like Lamar. 16? So what? 8
16.
So $8 million. $8 million. Like it doesn't make any sense for him to be 30.
David Montgomery just got more money than Derrick Henry.
Yep. Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. They're the best team in football. I think you lose to the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Okay, can we say they're the best team in the AFC?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's crazy. They're not held back by anything. In most teams, you can find a flaw.
I think their flaw is the secondary. That's what I think their flaw is. But it's not because the lack of talent. It's just they haven't lived up to their standard. I think eventually they will get right, but it's just, like I said, it's not because of the lack of talent. It's just they just haven't played up to
I just think they haven't molded together yet. I think their flaw is their offensive line, and that's just because they're young and they haven't been very the first couple of weeks they were bad and they cost them their first week, but as they've gotten more experience, they've only gotten better.
And I know, to give them the benefit of the doubt, their secondary and defense hasn't looked good, but it hasn't been easy games. They played the Chiefs, they played the Cowboys, they played the Bills, the Bengals, and now the Commanders. Those are 5 good offenses that could put up points with anybody. Exactly. Other than the Raiders, which was an awful loss, you let them come back on you. But the other 5 games, you're playing good offenses and teams that can put up points. So I can't blame them too much for being bad.
I don't want to mention that game.
Yeah, but no, I definitely do think the Ravens are the best team in the AFC, and the Commanders are looking like one of the best teams in the NFC. Again, for them to lose this game, and to me, walking away from this game being like, damn, the Commanders are that good. They actually are good. It's not them just beating up on bad teams, because they had the win against the Giants when the Giants didn't have a kicker. But no, they hung in this game. Jaden Daniels played his ass off. And they're legit. They're legit. I don't think I'm gonna go as far as to say they're contenders or anything, but I definitely think they should, with the way the other teams are looking in that division, I think they should easily win this division. Easily.
These are both teams that have are through the roof when it comes to watchability. I won't
Yeah.
miss very much time in either one of their offenses, especially offensively, because they're electric.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything else to say if you don't. Dante Fowler had himself a really good game for Washington, but other than that, I'm cool to move on.
We can move on. Packers beat the Cardinals 34-13, and now we're gonna get into a little pocket of games where we were talking about it. I'm giving you 2 words. I don't know what you want me to say about some of these games. But go ahead if you got anything you want to say here.
I got a couple things. You got the Melton Bowl. You had Bo versus Max Melton, which is always cool to see brothers playing against each other. The Cardinals, to me, have been one of the most confusing teams in the world.
Confusing. You look great against Buffalo week 1. You didn't win, but yeah, you look great. You look great. You just collapsed late. You beat the Niners. Like, it doesn't make any sense. We think it's going to be a shootout with the Lions. You put up 13 points. Your offense is pitiful, but your defense looks better. It doesn't make any sense. Then when you play the Rams, you hung 41 on them. You killed them.
Now you put up 13 again.
And then you play the Commanders, your offense again. Whenever you expect it to be a shootout with the Cardinals, they put up 14 points, 13 points, 13 points again. It doesn't make any sense, but you play games where it's like, the Cardinals, we're riding them off. They're not winning this game. They're in this game, so they're in it somehow, sometimes winning, like against the Niners. It really doesn't make any sense with this season. I'm glad you said it because I felt the same way. I said it last week. The Cardinals, I don't know what to feel about them. They are so confusing. So confusing.
Very. But on top of that, Marvin Harrison went out with a concussion. He stood up and then I don't know if you saw it, but he stumbled and then he just fell on the ground. Very scary things. I hope he's okay and I hope he heals fast. But since Jordan Love came back from injury, he's played very reckless, and I don't think that's who he is. I don't know why it started, but I hope he figures it out and I hope he stops. He had the bomb last week or the week before to Jaden Reed, 60 yards, and it was a catch, but it's like that's a sketchy one. And then he had the throw in the right end zone, and they've both gone viral on Twitter, so it's not like saying anything that's super crazy.
Yeah, I still think he's playing really well, but yeah, go ahead.
No, he's not playing bad at all.
Yeah, I get you.
But the worst thing from the Packers to me is I said in our season premiere that I think Josh Jacobs has one of the most talents in football, and he hasn't had a bad season by any standard. But he's been disappointing to me. So I hope he picks it up. But the Cardinals, figure something out. If you're gonna be bad, be bad.
Exactly.
If you're gonna be competitive, keep it consistent.
Exactly. If you're gonna be bad, just be god awful. Win 2 games for all I care. It really doesn't make any sense with them. But like I said, I don't have much to say about this game whatsoever. We can definitely
shout out Trey McBride.
Move on to the next.
Once Marv went down, Trey McBride was the only source of offense. Colts at Titans.
Yeah.
Final score of 20-17.
Go ahead. Go ahead then. Take the lead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You ain't got nothing to say here either?
You're goddamn right I don't. Other than Joe Flacco should be the starter going forward.
No.
Oh, no. I do have something to say here. Let me just make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me, because I could have just been seeing things, but let me just make sure. Yeah, I think you know where I'm going here. Yeah, you had a bold prediction about him not too long ago.
If you mentioned Trey Sermon,
where are my glasses over here somewhere?
He was playing because I was gonna get to that because
18 carries, 18 carries
right now.
for 29 yards. Now. 1.6 yards per carry. His longest run was 11. So we take away that 11. He had 17 carries for 18 yards. Go ahead, Trey Sermon, your guy.
No, I won't go ahead. Because I was going to get to him, and I was going to slander him. But here you go. It's making me look like a dumbass. That's my guy, and I will stand by him. But I said last week, that I almost said a bad word. I almost said something that I don't say on here very often. Mm-hmm. But that dude, he gets the ball, and he goes back and forth like he's doing Just Dance. Run the damn ball! Tyler Goodson looked very good. Mm-hmm. Trey Sermon... You're not starting anymore. I'm sorry. If you better hope Jonathan Taylor doesn't come back, because once he does, you're the running back 3. Tyler Goodson has looked better than you in every facet of football. Mm. Joe Flacco was not their starting quarterback. It said today that,
Yeah.
or Shane Steichen said today that Anthony Richardson will be the starter this
If
week
he has no setbacks,
unless there's no setbacks. And I agree. Flacco
yeah, I'm
didn't
just
look
talking. He
outstanding.
definitely, yeah, Anthony Richardson should definitely be their guy. Go ahead though.
Shout out Will Levis. He saw that they can't do the gun celebrations. And it went so viral, dude. And he doing the little Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He just looked goofy as hell.
As hell.
But Tony Pollard has been very good.
Yeah, he looked really good this past weekend, yeah.
Even though they suck, he's been good. And Tyjae Spears got hurt and is considered week to week. I don't know how any receiver who considers themselves to be a receiver one can go for 0 catches on 8 targets and then go to the podium and say that he expects better, because you got the targets, man. You gotta be better.
Yeah.
That Calvin Ridley, it's been 2 seasons now, man. Your show flashes, but please put it together.
Because it's just because like what you saw in him when he was next to Julio Jones in Atlanta, you were like, man, this guy's a number one, just waiting. He's just waiting for his chance. He's just waiting for Julio Jones to go down with an injury or something. Just, something unfortunate happened, and he's just ready to explode and be the next big guy. But yeah, to see what he's been this past 2 seasons, it's definitely not looking good for him. But if you have nothing else to say.
I will forever say that, yeah, you shouldn't gamble on sports, but him missing a whole season while we are seeing Deshaun Watson play is mind-boggling to me. We don't need to get into that kind of stuff.
Won't go there. No, but not
insane.
I feel you.
But in the fourth quarter of this game, the Colts gave the Titans so many chances, and the Titans just decided they wanted to lose. So shout out to them. We can move on to the
shout out to them.
Rookie quarterback starting.
Yep. The Houston Texans whoop on the New England Patriots 41-21. Drake May making his first career start. And the Titans offense, man, this is what I've been asking for the Titans, man. This is what I've been asking for. Oh my gosh. Not the Titans, sorry.
This is what you wanted to see from the Titans?
From the Texans. This is what I've been wanting to see from the Texans. The Texans. I can't speak. The Texans. I
got you, bro. I got you.
The Texans. I've been wanting to see them put their offense together for an entire game. But throughout the first 5 weeks, it's been half and half. They've been showing spurts here, then they look terrible in another game. But it would be, of course, it's the game without Nico Collins in a game where they're playing a pretty good defense. This is when they just put it together all of a sudden, and they put together their best game. But the story of this game, the rookie making his first start, Drake May, his first career touchdown is a beauty. I said it earlier. It was the best pass from this weekend. It was a beauty. To what was his name? Booty?
Were you watching this game?
Yeah.
Did you hear the commentators?
No. I only have one audio on. It wasn't theirs.
He catches the pass, and the commentator goes, and his first career pass to Keyshawn Boutte?
No, yeah, I didn't even
talk
hear
a little bit, and he goes, and a touchdown by Booty. And it's like, oh my god, his name is Keyshawn Boot. The E is like silent.
It's silent. Okay.
He killed me, dude. He goes, a touchdown to Booty. I lost it.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear.
But I don't know if it was a done on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But the Texans would either have like a short pass or a run on first and second down, and then it'd come to third down, and it's like, CJ, go ahead and figure it out for us. And CJ had no fear this entire game. He did whatever he wanted to this Patriots defense, and I don't know if, like I said, if it's because the Patriots are just so bad on the other side of the ball that they didn't have a lot of fear, but we see this prioritized passing offense. You run Cam Akers out there for a couple weeks, and you struggle to get all the offense on the board. You still win, but Joe Mixon comes back.
We said it, yeah. We've been saying Joe Mixon. Yep.
He looked unbelievable. You said the story of the day for them was Drake May. I think the story of this game was Joe Mixon. He was fun. He was great. But on the other side, Drake May, like you said, he threw that pass to Keyshawn Boot. And then he had another one to Demario Douglas, who he was the only bright spot on that field, dude. Keyshawn Boot caught that one pass, but I don't know if he did much of anything else. he had the 40-yarder and he finished with 59. So he had 19 other yards with two receptions. I think between Kayshon Boutte and Kendrick Bourne, your guy, former Niner, they will continue to take away from Jalen Polk. And as I said, I'm so sorry that I put that bold prediction out there because Jalen Polk hasn't done anything all season.
No, but Drake May, even plays where it kind of like broke down that were not like out of script, he found ways to make. There was one to Hunter Henry that ended up being like a 30-yard completion or something like that, a 30-yard play.
The one he fumbled? Hunter Henry fumbled?
It might have been. I don't know. It might have been, but Drake May was able to, work things that were just off script. His first read isn't there. He was able to, make a play. And he looked mobile as well. He was pretty mobile. He was able to, I think I watched him run for a first down. Yeah, he was able to, move, evade pressure, and move outside the pocket. So I like what I saw from Drake May. I think he should have been starting week 1. I'm always a guy that said, if you're not a team, like when the Niners drafted Trey Lance, I understood why he didn't start right away, because we were a team that needed to win now, and he was the quarterback that needed to develop. It just wasn't a match. But if you're a bad team and you have a quarterback that's young, just play him. There are going to be growing pains regardless, because you don't want to be a team. And I get it. People are going to say, oh, but look at Patrick Mahomes. That's just not how it works. He's one of one. That's just not how it works. But you don't still want to be a team that, okay, now our roster is ready to compete. Now we're going to put in this guy and then watch these growing pains as our team is ready to compete. So you just go through and just live with the pains, the mistakes he makes as a rookie, and develop as a team instead of watching your team develop as your quarterback sits there on the bench.
I agree, but I think you do either or. Like you said, start him week 1 or leave him on the bench to learn. Yeah. You don't start him. You don't start Jacoby Brissett 5 weeks and realize, man, this guy stinks.
Yeah.
Let's put Drake May out there against one of the best defenses in football.
You usually see it a lot after the bye, at least. After the bye, then you play him. Yeah.
And I came on here and said that they rushed the hell out of Caleb Williams. And what do you think they did against Drake May? Yeah. Will Anderson was fabulous. Drake May showed, like you said, he showed major flashes, and I think that he's going to be a high-level quarterback in this league. But they did everything wrong, in my opinion. They did everything wrong.
I agree.
Good luck in the offseason, because your season's over, fellas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Moving on.
Wow, I don't have much to say about this game.
And it's not even the fact that I didn't watch the game because I had this game on. I just don't even want to talk about either of these teams. The Browns, we cannot say it enough. He should not be playing, but guess what they say again after the I'm on a walk after these games. I just go for a walk. I look at my phone and I see a notification that says Deshaun Watson gives us the best chance to win. If there was another quarterback that gave us the best chance to win, the better chance to win, they'd be playing or something like that. How can you watch him play every week and think this is the quarterback that gives you the best chance to win? I don't get it. I promise you, ownership, management, they have to have, I don't want to say it, but they have something against, on his back saying, you better say Deshaun is our guy because we're playing him. Because there's just no way a coach like Stefanski can sit there and say this every single week. He's too good of a coach. He's too good of a coach to be going up to the podium and looking like an idiot saying Deshaun Watson gives us the best chance to win when he knows damn well that is not true. I promise you, if you hooked him up to a damn polygraph, it would say his ass was lying. Deshaun Watson does not give the Browns the best chance to win. You have Jameis on the bench. Play him. Go ahead, man.
See, I don't know why you still allow yourself to get frustrated by that.
You're right. No, you're right. And I said I wasn't. You're right.
I said in the preseason I will not talk about the situation anymore, and I'm not going to because he's not going to start Jameis.
Yeah, you're right.
I would like to talk about the other side of the ball. I think that A.J. Brown is one of the best receivers in football.
Absolutely.
I think the story of him with his pink cleats and Jason Kelsey's daughter is beautiful. Anybody that hasn't seen it, just look up A.J. Brown pink cleats. And Saquon Barkley, you've had a wonderful season. This wasn't the game for you.
I needed him.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is one of the best linebackers in football. And man, I wish he was anywhere else. Myles Garrett blocks the punt. Rodney McLeod returns it for a touchdown.
The Eagles just left the Browns in this game. I think so. Yes. The Eagles just let the Browns hang around in this game because it was 3
They
to
can't do
10.
anything.
It was 3-10, and the Eagles could have made it 13-3, and that's when Myles Garrett blocks it, and they take it back, and it's 10-10. So it's like you just let the Browns hang around, but it's the Browns, so of course they're not gonna capitalize on it. So, but no, the Eagles have not looked very good at times. They're 3-2, but it hasn't been dominating wins. They haven't been just blowing out teams. They let teams like this hang around, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Like you said, Saquon Barkley had probably his worst game of the season. He didn't look very good, but I don't like either of these teams. I don't think they're very good. We know the Browns are good, but I don't think the Eagles are very good. I don't think they're competing for anything much this season. But I know you wanted to talk about a certain thing about the Eagles, so I'll let you.
The Browns, before I get there, the Browns just don't convert on third down, like ever, and it's disgusting. It genuinely might be I think I like watching the Patriots more than the Browns. I don't know if there's a team in the league that I dislike watching more than the Browns.
I get you.
Jerome Ford and Dallas Goedert both go down with hamstring injuries. I don't know the severity of either one of them. But before we move on to the next game, the Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni just looked like an absolute clown show on the sidelines this week.
I'm sorry, but he looked like a jackass. He looked like a jackass. Go ahead.
He did. And I think coming out of the bye, they had to have gone to him and say, "Hey man, we need some change." And then he said, "Okay, I got y'all." And then the change he gave them was a shaved head. He didn't look at the playbook at all. He just shaved his head. So that was cool. At least he changed something. But I think that if they were playing any other team than the Browns and they had a chance of losing this game, he would be out of the building. He shouldn't be there any longer. I don't know what he needs to show you this. When you're mocking your own fans, like he came out and apologized today, but that's so embarrassing for a head coach, man. It's inexcusable, to be honest.
And I'm all for a head coach being energetic and being that like rah you're talking, but it just gets to a point sometimes. And I was telling you before we recorded, I had an overreaction that if the Eagles, like for last week, I was gonna say, but I just didn't come with it because I was like, yeah, it probably won't happen. I was gonna say if the Eagles lost this game, this is gonna be Nick Sirianni's last game with the Eagles, like they would fire him. But yeah, they definitely need to move it another direction. I think it'll probably come after this season. I don't think they'll do it midseason because like I said with the Jets and Robert Saleh, I just don't think if you have plans of contending, which I don't think they'll be doing, but they probably have plans inside their organization. They think they're contending.
Yeah,
you just don't move off of your coach in the middle of the season. So they'll probably do it after this season. But yeah, I got nothing more to say about his ass.
And they've had success under him, so it's kind of sad, but
yeah,
stuff gets stagnant at some point, and it's gotten stagnant with him. Move on. It's time.
Absolutely.
But it's time for us to move on to the next game. Chargers at Broncos.
Chargers at Broncos. I said it in the review. These are my fake two teams. I my two other teams, because I throw the Broncos in there just because how much you hated on Bo Nix early in the season. But you did come around and say what you needed to say. But Bo Nix, he wasn't phenomenal in this game. But what I will say, my goodness, he needs a run game. You have a young quarterback. You have a quarterback who you're trying to make your franchise guy. He should not be leading this team in rushes by damn near 40 in rushing yards by damn near 40 yards. He had 61 yards on the ground. Javonte Williams, you had 23.
He looks fast, man. I didn't like. He was always
he can move.
Elusive,
Yeah, he can move.
He looks genuinely fast.
Yes.
This was our first of the 4:00 slate, and I won't be I won't be honest. That makes a lot of sense, Brady. I'll be honest. None of these games excited me. The only one that was even a little bit interesting was the Steelers-Raiders. Steelers-Raiders. And the Steelers ended up just pulling away at the end anyways, so it's like, I'm watching the end of this, but why? I'm just waiting for Sunday Night Football, and we'll get to that, but that game blew too. Yeah. But last week I said this was our Ev Bowl. We had Dev's favorite team versus Kev's favorite team, and Devin, I wish I would have taken the bet, man. For your sake, I'm glad I didn't take your money, but you tried to convince me the Broncos were really like that, and I picked the Chargers.
Did you say me, or are you talking to Devin?
No, Devin. Bo Nix threw a pick on his very first pass. Yeah. It was tipped, but his very first pass was a pick. And straight from that, I was just downhill. Shout out Jim Harbaugh. He went to the medical tent, and then he went back to the locker room.
Yeah, and then John Harbaugh left his presser to go make sure Jim was okay and stuff like that. So, yeah. Shout out to Jim, former Niner. Situation. Yeah. But like I was saying, like
the
the Broncos, it can't be one or the other. Like I was saying, they have no run game, but you also have no weapon. Or other than, let me not say no weapon. Cortland Sutton's your guy. Like that touchdown catch he had, my goodness, it was insane. But like, I have it here. They're 12th in the league in pass attempts, but they're last in yards per completion. They have the least amount of explosive plays. They have three completions for over 30 yards. 3. That's god awful. There's nothing to fear on this offense. Cortland Sutton's a damn good player, but no team is coming in like, oh, damn, we're playing Cortland tomorrow. What are we gonna do? Like, we're losing sleep over. And that's not to take anything away from him. He's a really good receiver. But my goodness, you can't not have a run game and then not have any superstar talent outside. What do you want Bo Nix to do? He can only do so much. I'm not saying
the same situation that Drake May was in.
And I'm not here to say if he was in Jaden's situation or Caleb's that he would be runaway rookie of the year, but it would help for him to have something he can rely on, a running game or a deep threat out wide, something. But I'm rooting for the Broncos. I'm rooting for Bo Nix, but they're such a hard watch, man, because that offense is god awful. Like, there's nothing that other than Bo Nix that I'm like, yeah, I want to tune in and watch that guy today. Just nothing, like literally nothing. But
there is literally nothing that I want to tune in and watch on this team.
Nothing.
You said other than. There's no other than for me. I don't want to watch it. Javonte Williams is my guy, but you suck. I'm sorry to say, you're not good anymore. You had too many injuries to come back from. Hopefully, you can figure out.
He was really good early in his career. He was really good.
So good, yes. It's just when you have that many, it's hard to come back sometimes, and it's fortunate to say, but he might be cooked.
Yeah, and this was probably our best Herbert game. It wasn't like he took over, but this is probably the best one we've seen so far this season. And their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, said he wanted to get into more of Justin Herbert, putting up those numbers and putting up the stats. This was the most passing yards Justin Herbert has had since week 11 of last season. And he only had 237. 237, and that's the most. But it's an improvement from what he's been doing early on in the season, so I hope this is a step in the right direction, because their offensive coordinator did say that they wanted to beat teams with more than just the run game, being Justin Herbert's arm and him willing them to some wins.
I'm not going to give him too much credit, though, because Pat Surtain did go down and miss a good little portion of this. So you're going against an okay defense without their best weapon. So it's the thing that impresses me with Justin Herbert is it wasn't just like, here Quentin Johnston or here McConkey. He spread the ball out a lot.
Absolutely. And that's what he's going to have to do with this receiving core. There's no Keenan Allen that he's going to give 14 targets to or anything like that. So he's going to have to spread it out, and whoever's the guy on that day will get the ball. But yeah. And
shout out the Chargers. They signed their defensive savior today. Shout out that corner over there that they just brought in. I think that he's gonna look really good under Harbaugh.
Yeah. I see he's gonna be on the practice squad though, so we'll see if he.
It won't take him long to get elevated though. It won't take him long.
For those that don't know, we're talking about Eli Apple, so we'll see. We'll see. But we can move on.
Everybody should know.
We can move on. Only, it's still like 5 games left. The Steelers get back to their winning ways after losing 2 games, 32-13. They beat the Raiders. Justin Fields might have been feeling a little pressure because Russell Wilson was, back healthy. He's handing off the ball to Marshawn Lynch pregame. He might have felt Russell Wilson creeping up behind him, but the Steelers get the win, blow out the Raiders. We had a TikTok about the Raiders. A lot of people were upset. I'm not gonna say a lot of people were upset about, but there were a couple people coming to the defense of Aiden O'Connell. I was in there saying, see what you have in Aiden O'Connell, but I don't think it matters.
Threw me under the bus.
I didn't throw you under the bus. How did I throw you?
No, you threw me under the bus.
How did I throw you under the bus?
You said I think they should see what they have, but the other guy hates him for some reason.
That's me just talking shit. I'm just in there.
Exactly. These random viewers don't know that.
You're right. I apologize. You're right. But that's me just talking.
Anything you want to say about this Raiders offense, just go back to what he said about the Broncos offense and import Aiden O'Connell for Bo Nix. Because
instead of your Cortland Sutton, you got Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Brock. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Alexander Madison looked bad. and without Devontae or Jacoby Myers, and it's sad to say because Zamir's been bad, but without Zamir too, you got nothing. If it wasn't Brock Bowers, it was genuinely nothing. And I think Aiden O'Connell looked okay with what he was given, but he wasn't given anything. And unfortunately, he didn't look.
And it's not like Justin Fields went out there and just killed like he did against who was it, the Colts a couple of weeks ago. He did a lot on the ground. Really, he scored both his touchdowns on the ground. It was Najee Harris. Yeah. All the talk I say about Najee Harris. Dark was texting me. Najee Harris
runs hard.
He did. He played a damn good game this past Sunday. He had that touchdown run. My goodness. I don't know how he managed to get out of that and then dive for the pylon at the end. Najee,
would you like to apologize?
No. Hell no. Hell no. One good game, one nice highlight play.
He's looked good all season. He hasn't scored yet. Going into this game, the commentator goes, Justin Fields is the only Steeler with a rushing touchdown. That's a crazy stat. So you just lost all your momentum.
He's looked good all season. 13 carries.
Good is not
13 carries, 19 yards. Great. He's looked good this season. 14 carries, 42 yards, 3 yards per carry, 1.5 yards per carry. Oh, no, sorry, 1.6. 3.9 yards per carry, 4.1 yards per carry. Longest run before the game against the Raiders this past season. Do you want to know? Take a guess.
It doesn't really matter.
Take a guess.
I think but you
20
are
yards.
Factoring into how
20 yards. 20 yards.
Factor in how fucking terrible that offensive line is.
It doesn't matter. He's never been good. His vision has always been awful. It has always been awful. And so it's not like Najee Harris was somewhere else and he was killing. Then he got to the Steelers and it's because of the offensive line. No, he's part of it too. But I'm not making this about Najee Harris because I came here to give him praises, but then you wanted to take it overboard. Najee had yourself a good game.
All I said was, did you want to apologize?
No.
Okay,
Hell
that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
No. Hell
that's
no.
Fine.
Now it's, let me not say it. I was going to say F you, Najee, but let me not say it. Najee, I wish you the best. I hope you play well, continue to play well. But I'm just not a Najee guy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
That's all fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Shout out my boy Khan. He a Najee lover, and I'm also a Najee fan. And I don't know why you hate the brother.
I don't hate him. I just don't like him. Moving on.
Hey, shout out Pat Freiermuth. This is a Raiders home game, and every catch he gets, the whole crowd goes, move.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool. They did the same thing with Amari Cooper when he was in Dallas. It'd be Coop, and now they do it in Cleveland, but he doesn't catch the ball much of it anymore. So, but in an away stadium, and they're still doing it, that Raiders fan base has to be better. But we can move on.
And they're usually one of the better fan bases.
Move on.
Why not?
Look at this next game.
Holy cow, I don't want to move on. What I will say about this game, it was the Atlanta Falcons beating the Carolina Panthers 38-20. I was telling you Tyler Algier, man, he runs so damn hard. He runs so hard. I can't tell you the down or the distance, but it was a run to the right. And I literally tabbed off because it looked like he was stopped. I was gone for 3 seconds. I clicked back into the Falcons game and I see him like this, first down. And I was like, there's just no way. And they showed the replay and I was like, there's no way he got out of that. Because I clicked off thinking, oh, okay, he's getting stopped for a 3-yard gain. And somehow he took it another 6 yards and got a first down. He runs so hard. Yeah. But this was also probably Bijan's best game of the season. They both played.
He looked great.
Played damn good. But Tyler Algier, man, they're gonna have to continue to split carries if he continues to play this well. There's no way you can just say, Bijan, this is your backfield and you're the only one that's gonna get carries with Tyler Algier looking this good.
They didn't ask Kirk to do very much, but he still had himself a good game for what they needed. But like you said, it was just the run game. The run game did quite literally everything. the preview episode for this, my only note was blowout, and they won by 18. It got close for a while, but
Yeah,
they
it was
pulled back
kind of
away.
fake close, yeah.
Same thing as the Broncos game. They got fake close at some point. But my question, and the only thing I want to talk about.
Say it. Bryce Young.
What do you think I'm good?
Bryce Young.
Yes.
Bryce Young.
Why are we not starting Bryce Young?
Put him in. The Andy Dalton, it was fun for one game. Oh, Andy goes and beats, who was it, the Raiders or something? Oh, Andy's looking good. The Colts offense is revived. Put Bryce Young back in. What did I say?
You said Colts offense.
I'm tweaking today. I'm tweaking.
You're good. Just keep going.
But no, put Bryce Young back in. Like I said, the Andy Dalton experiment, just to see what you had in him, was fun. Maybe if you were winning, I could see why, we're going to ride out with Andy. If you would have went 3 and whatever, you won 3 games with Andy, ride it out with him. Continue. But you're 1-5. Andy Dalton hasn't won since that one game, where that first game he started. What more do you need to see out of him? Or do you think he's going to make some mid-season progression or something?
And
just
my
play
thing
your
is,
guy.
If it's close, I get it. But they got blown out this game. They got blown out by the Bears. It wasn't necessarily close against the Bengals. And yeah, he came in and beat the Raiders, but it's the Raiders. So congratulations. They play the Andy Dalton. You start again next week because they play the Commanders. Put Bryce Young back in against the Broncos. There's no reason to continue.
And they showed that shot of them two on the sideline at the end, towards the end of the game. They were standing right next to each. Put Bryce back in, please. It was a cool little nice story to talk about for a couple of weeks, but put him back in. But what I will say about the Falcons, it was good to see Bijan play this well, and that Kirk didn't have to go for 500 yards like he did against the Bucks. Granted, it was the Panthers, but it was good to see both running backs have a good game. And Kirk didn't have a bad game, but didn't have a phenomenal game. He was just fine. But it's good to see for their offense going forward that they can win multiple different ways. But I don't have a damn thing else to say about this game. Put Bryce Young back in, please. Oh my goodness, moving on. Oh my god. This was a bad week of football. This was a bad week of football, man. Looking at these games, I talked about it earlier. I said I didn't want to move into the Cowboys, but they just had me. I'm going to reiterate it. Jerry Jones, on your birthday, you lose 47-9. Happy birthday. But my goodness, in the offseason, you say you're going all in. What does all in mean? What does that mean? Was he just saying stuff? Literally, what does that mean? You still have Mike McCarthy as your coach. I don't know what you expect to happen if he's going to be the guy that's going to lead the Cowboys back to the promised land. You have nobody other than CeeDee Lamb, and his ass can't do it by himself because he hasn't been on a damn thing, really. He has not been on a damn thing. There hasn't been a game where it's been, CeeDee Lamb just took over this game and won it for the Cowboys. There has not been any crazy special performance. Your running game, you bring back Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, let's have a little reunion. We're the 2016 Cowboys again. We're going to have Ezekiel Elliott running all over the place. Dak in his rookie year. We're going to be fun again. No, he's bad. He's bad. Rico Dowdle, people were thinking, yes, Zeke is bad. I know you don't want to say it. Yes, he's bad. Rico Dowdle last week. Rico might be. No, this run game is bad. This defense is atrocious. I get it. You're missing Deron Bland. You're missing DeMarcus Lawrence. You're missing Micah Parsons. What Diggs' brother, Trayvon Diggs. You got toasted one too many times in this game. Who was it? It was a touchdown. I think it was Jameson Williams. It was in the back right corner of the end zone. And he literally, Hulk smashes double fist into the ground because he was so pissed at himself. He got torched at times in this game. This defense is god awful. It is so damn bad. And I'm tired of doing this with the Cowboys. No. Let me not even say that, because the Cowboys are usually fake good in the regular season. It's is this the Cowboys' year? Can they do it? They won 12 games. Can they do it? Now it's just you can't win a game at home. Forget a win. You can't keep it close at home. You can't keep it close. You're getting the door blown off the building at home. You made a fake comeback against the Ravens, but that game wasn't close. You got mollywopped by the Saints, and now you let Jared Goff come into your building and hang 47 on you. And The Lions had no respect for the Cowboys. They said last season, y'all called that illegal man or whatever they called because he didn't ineligible because he didn't report. Oh, we're getting the big man a touchdown this week. They did it so many times trying to get one of their offensive line a touchdown. They had no respect for the Cowboys. None. No respect whatsoever. They tried so hard to get one of their offensive linemen a touchdown. The Cowboys, you should be ashamed of yourself. This is pitiful. Pitiful. My goodness, man. My goodness. Go ahead.
They can't stop the run game if their entire lives depended on it. Kamara came in and he put up like 204 touchdowns. Derrick Henry comes in and puts up like 202 touchdowns. And now it's a duo, so it's not quite the same, but Montgomery and Gibbs come in and give you like 202 touchdowns. It's they can't stop the run game if their entire lives depended on it. So unless you're playing, like you said, the Broncos, good luck winning some games, man. I don't have anything to say about the Cowboys. The only thing I want to say is congratulations to Dave Montgomery on getting his low paycheck. And heal up Aiden Hutchinson. A scary injury.
Man.
Broken tibia. They said he got literally immediate surgery, which is never a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's okay.
They were saying he's out for the season, but it's really a 3 to 4 months. So if they make the Super Bowl, that's his shot of coming back. Literally, if they're in the Super Bowl. But at that point, it's like rest up for next season. He should make a full recovery. Yeah. But I didn't even see it in real time. I had my headset on, not even my headset on, because I just had it playing through the speakers. I was on my phone or something, doing something, and I just heard that music whenever someone's hurt, we're gonna take it to commercial, and then I heard them come back from commercial, and I was like, and they were like, we're not even gonna show it, it's graphic, and so I never even saw the injury.
All over Twitter.
And then that's exactly what happened. I opened Twitter, one of the first tweets I see is just a still picture of his leg just bent the wrong way, and it was gross. It was gross.
I refuse to allow myself to see it, but towards the end
I
of this
didn't want to
game,
see it. Yeah.
Tom Brady got to the point where he didn't even know what to talk about. He was just like rattling on because 47-9, and he just kept saying like the Lions are the real deal. The Cowboys got to figure something out. There's nothing to figure out. They're a bad football team.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no fake contending for the Cowboys this year. They're just not contending. They're not good. I like we said it. Their run defense has been bad all week. All year. I just know they were shitting themselves knowing that David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs were coming to town. And then Jared Goff, continuing what he did, where he was 18 for 18. I forget who it was against a couple of weeks ago. But he continues what he did. I can't even remember. Was it the Seahawks? It was the Seahawks. The Seahawks. He continues playing well after he started a little rough to this season. So I like what I've seen from Goff. And I really do think the Lions are the best team in the league right now. After what I've seen from them these past few weeks, Jared Goff has looked better. As I said, the two running backs are two studs. Sam Laporta had that big touchdown. What's that?
They got a loss, though.
Sam Laporta had that big touchdown. Jameson Williams, it's like we've been saying, it's either he's making the big splash play or he's just literally nothing. But man,
the splash shot was taking the bat.
The Cowboys, Jerry Jones, you gotta. It's time for you to just, go.
You need to walk out the door.
Yes, it's time for you to just go do your thing and just go live the rest of your life. Stop stressing yourself. Stop worrying about the Cowboys. Just go be Jerry Jones. Just go, find something else you want to do.
You can still come to the games.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll give you your own press box. You'll be in your own box. They'll show you 100 times in the game. But please, the Joneses should stay as far away from the Cowboys as possible because my goodness, they are terrible at running this team. Terrible. I said it earlier. There were a million running backs you could have went and got, and you walked away with Zeke Elliott. You wanted a reunion. We can move on.
Great choice. You made a great choice because Ezekiel Elliott,
eight carries for 17 yards. Great choice, man.
That's all you need.
Great choice.
If you run the ball 4 times, you get 8 yards, and then you can turn the ball over.
My goodness, man.
Bengals at Giants, Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football. And what I thought was going to be a damn good game was a damn boring game. It was so boring.
They punted so many times.
This game was such a hard watch. It was such a hard watch. Joe Burrow has that, 56-yard touchdown run. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even see it in real time. My brother just texted me, yo, did you just see Joe Burrow? And then I opened Twitter. And I'm like,
He
oh my
took off
god,
and was hauling.
bro! I was like, there's just no way. And you like for the first,
it was a brilliant play too.
For the first 20, 25, 30, there's just nothing. He's just running and
nobody.
And then at the end, you see someone come up, and I'm like, is someone gonna show up on the screen? There was no one. He was just running an open field. There was literally no one. But this was let me not say a bad loss for the Giants, but in the fashion you lost.
It was a disappointing performance.
Yeah, disappointing. That's the way to put it. Because I thought not necessarily that they were going to win, even though I did pick them, but that they would keep it competitive somewhat, and their offense would be able to put some points up against the Bengals defense, which has been bad this season. But now it was flipped for the Bengals. Their offense couldn't do much of anything, but their defense held it down and held the Giants to 7 points. And then that Giants defensive line, my goodness, they did their thing. Brian Burns is so good. He is so good. There was like no chance of it happening, but when they were talking about trading him, I was hoping that somehow the Niners could get him because he is so he is so good, bro. He's a game wrecker, bro. Man, the Lions, I'm not the Lions, sorry. The Giants still lead the league in sacks and pressures, I'm pretty sure.
He didn't even have his duo.
But it didn't matter.
Got put on IR.
And then I thought this was going to be a game. You said this is my guy, Wan'Dale Robinson. I thought this was going to be a game where he may flash because of how bad this Bengals defense was. And I thought DJ would be able to have himself a good game where he's running, passing, and throwing for a few touchdowns. But no.
And DJ didn't even look bad, dude. Daniel Jones had an okay game. He had one pick where like he had a brilliant drive to get down. It was like 30, 20 yards. I don't think they were quite in the red zone yet, but they were getting down there. And he just thought it was a bonehead pick. But that's like his only mistake of the game. Tyrone Tracy, Darius Slayton, they both look good. Tyrone Tracy didn't look good. He looked pretty good he looked solid for a rookie.
Through the passing game, he was solid too. In the passing game.
Yeah. The Giants had nothing. Other than, like you said, the defensive line of Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns. They miss Malik Neighbors heavily. Tyrone Tracy looks very good for a 5th-round rookie, 4th-round rookie, whatever he is, but they miss Devin Singletary.
Which is crazy to say. And it's weird because you thought they would have missed Neighbors last week against the Seahawks, but it didn't matter. But then this week you thought, oh yeah, if they could beat the Seahawks without him, they won't need him this week against a Bengals defense that's been terrible all season. But no, it definitely showed in this game. But Chase Brown, we've been saying all season that he should be getting the ball over Zach Moss, and it was that way this game. And he did his thing. He was solid. He was very solid. He had that long run at the end of the game.
He had that long run at the end, but other than that, he wasn't really.
He was solid. I think he was solid. He held it down. He did what he was supposed to do, and throughout the season, he's looked very good, a lot better than what Zach Moss has. So I like that Chase Brown is continuing to take more and more of the load in the back.
Should have started from the jump. My favorite thing about Chase Brown in this game was he broke off that big run, like you said, and he just went into the end zone. A lot of guys are going down on like the 5-yard line this season, and I get it's the 2 clock and to win the game, you're already up 10 points, something like that. Just go in the end zone. Get your touchdown.
Just go in.
They're not coming back.
The fake, I'm going to be I got sportsmanship. I'm going to do it for the team. I'm a team player. Just go get your touchdown, dog. Just go get your touchdown.
And the Falcons got a pick and should have been a pick 6, I believe. Towards the end of their...
Oh, you're going back. I was like, we're not talking about... Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. And he went down.
He went down on the...
Yep.
Yeah. Just go in. I don't have anything else to say about this game, though. This game was absolutely horrific to watch.
Yeah, I was really disappointed.
I'll be honest, Monday Night Football was one of the best games of the week, but it
wasn't. Thank you, bro. This was not a great week of football. It really wasn't. The Buffalo Bills beat the New York Jets 23-20. The Jets continue to spiral. Look, even with firing Robert Saleh, they still lose. I think this is 3 losses in a row for them now.
They should have won this football game. Greg Zuerlein cost them this entire game.
They definitely walk away from this thinking they should have won it, with Greg Zuerlein missing, Aaron Rodgers throwing that late interception on that ball to Mike Williams where he had to come back for it, but he ended up slipping. He's
got no faith in Mike Williams anymore. He won't throw it his way. I don't. And Because Aaron Rodgers is a guy where you build trust with your receivers and then you force feed them over and over.
You
And you
saw
see
it
that
in
with
Green
Garrett and you
Bay.
see that with Alan Lazard.
Yeah,
Well, his two guys now are getting the ball a ton. They both had like 120 yards this game.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Williams, you're not gonna get the ball. He's gonna fight for Gibson to play over you, and I don't even blame him. Mike Williams has looked bad, and it's sad to say, but with Nathaniel Hackett finally gone, this isn't sad to say. This is a completely different conversation. My mind just raveled. With Nathaniel Hackett completely gone and Todd Downing in as their new offensive coordinator, Breece Hall looked brilliant. Aaron Rodgers had a great game. Both of his receivers had good games, and you had an absolutely competent offense for the first time this season. What a surprise. You get rid of the worst offensive coordinator in football, and you got something.
Yeah, they only put up 20 points, but their offense, they were getting up and down the field. They were doing their thing. Yes. Aaron Rodgers looked solid. He looked good. Breece Hall bounced back and got back to what he was supposed to be. But
they were forced to settle for those 2 field goals, and Aaron Rodgers, he even lost a fumble in this game, but they were forced to settle for those 2 field goals. They should have won 26-23. But he misses the one right, and then he just completely bangs the one off the goalpost. It rang off the goalpost like 6 times. Shout out Ray Davis, man.
Yep.
James Cook gets announced out late in this game, and for all of my fantasy teams, it seems.
That's like
I got
that's
shafted.
So ass, bro. Like that is so ass. Like come on, bro. I hate the Monday Night Football late scratch. You don't know if he's gonna play. I hate it. And for all signs pointed to James Cook playing. And then it comes to Monday. What do you want us to do? We can't put in a bench guy that played already, James Cook. But go ahead, continue, man. Continue.
Shout out our fantasy 4-man drafts. Because you drafted James Cook, and now we're tied 2-2.
Yep.
But Ray Davis looked really, really good for a rookie. He stepped in, and usually when you get your top dog going out like this, you just throw the ball a lot. But McDermott and Joe Brady, it's something Brady over there.
Yeah.
They weren't afraid to run the ball. They just kept giving it to him, and I like seeing that out of them. Josh Allen, his stats won't pop off the board, but he looked really good.
Yep. There was that late run to ice the game. Man, Josh Allen's just going to find a way. No matter who you got around him, he's just going to find a way and he may not win every single game, but he's going to give his team a chance to win. I say that when they got smacked by the Ravens earlier this year. But Josh Allen's just going to give his team a chance to win at the end of the day. You just got to give him his props.
Taylor Rapp and
Taylor Rapp had a hell of a game.
Good.
Yeah,
Taylor Rapp had a hell of a game, and DeMar Hamlin has had a hell of a season so far. First season starting, and he's looked incredibly competent.
But
I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, as I said, this was a really weird and probably the worst week of football we've had this season. Hopefully next week, and I know this isn't a preview episode, but we got like Lions and Vikings next week, which could be solid. We got Texans and Packers. We got Niners Chiefs, the Super Bowl rematch.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. You're right. We'll get there. We'll get there. But
before I get into my quarterback rankings, do you want to do this before or after Thursday Night Football preview? Before, probably.
That's fine. I don't mind. Whichever way you want to do it, go ahead.
Okay, before we don't even have to talk about Thursday Night before, but the Broncos, I want to say at New Orleans. I know it's Broncos versus the Saints. I just want to get your pick real quick because I think this game's going to suck. This is going to be one that of course, I'm tuned in, but I'm not going to be super locked in on it. I don't care about either one of those teams.
I'm taking the Broncos in this game. It's going to probably be a pretty low-scoring game, but I'm going to take the Broncos strictly off of I think their defense has been solid and pretty underrated this season, and I think they could cause problems for Spencer Rattler and could slow down the run game a little bit. And I think, like I said, it'll be low scoring, but I think Bo Nix, like I said, he can move, and I think he'll make a couple of late plays with his legs maybe and make some off-schedule plays and just will this team to a win. I think it'll probably be maybe like 13, 15, somewhere around there to like 10. I think it'll be a pretty low-scoring game.
I'm going to use your logic from earlier against you. A team with no run game is not beating the Saints defense. So
Fair.
Give me the Saints.
Fair. I can't.
Rattler gets his first career NFL win. I think that'll be beautiful because I'm a big Rattler believer. But we can move on to one of our last segments of the day. Last week we introduced my top 10 quarterbacks of the week. This has nothing to do with predictions. This has a little bit to do with name, but it's mostly all of what you've done so far this season. So guys like Pat Mahomes, of course, he's the best quarterback in football, but he's not going to be number one. It's based off of how you performed this season.
And we posted this to the TikTok and the YouTube. We're also doing YouTube Shorts. So whoever's showing love on the TikToks, be sure to just go over to the YouTube Shorts and show some love there as well. But I seen some comments on the quarterback list, like say, "Oh, this is a terrible list, this and that." And then, if you're gonna say things, drop your list. You guys can drop your list in the comments, and also don't just say this is a terrible list or awful list, garbage list, and then just not say what you think. Exactly. Say what you would do. Say who you would move. Say if this guy's too high, too low. But go ahead.
But as I said, solely off of this season's performances, I got 1 through 10. I got a couple honorable mentions that we might shout out. But starting at 10, I got a guy who wasn't on here last week.
We should run through last week's to so we can compare.
All right, we can do that. Last week I had at 1 Lamar Jackson, 2 Joe Burrow, 3 Jaden Daniels, 4 Josh Allen, 5 Sam Darnold, 6 Brock Purdy, 7 Geno Smith, 8 Pat Mahomes, 9 Baker Mayfield, and 10 CJ Stroud.
All right.
So this week, I got a guy that wasn't on here last week. I got Kirk Cousins at 10.
There we go. I was talking about him last week, coming off the 500-yard game. I was like, Kirk, should probably sneak in somewhere 10, 9, somewhere out there. So I'm happy to see him on this list. Gets the win against the Panthers. Didn't do anything crazy, but got the win.
He got the win, and he's had a good season. He was really bad week 1, which is the reason that he was held off last week. But as the season's gone on, he's continued to look good.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately for Geno Smith, Geno looked bad, so he falls down a little bit.
So it tends to happen when you play the Niners. But continue. Fun fact: Geno has not beaten the Niners. Go ahead, continue.
At number 9, we got the team you just talked about, Brock Purdy. Where
was Brock Purdy last week?
6. So he fell a little bit.
A little bit in a lit. No. Don't say you can put him anywhere. You have him at 9, so keep him at 9. But I
was gonna say I could have him at 8 because Pat Mahomes didn't play. So I didn't really know how to gauge that. But
is this strictly because people just moved up and were that good, or do you feel like Brock Purdy just needed to? Okay. Because Brock Purdy had himself a hell of a game on Thursday. He had that amazing pass to George Kittle, toe tap in. He had that George Kittle ran like a little Texas, and he found George Kittle in the middle.
I'm sorry. Let me put him at 8. Let me have Pat Mahomes down at 9.
I was gonna say for Brock to drop 3 spots coming off of a damn good game. Maybe his best game of the season, if we're being real, for him to drop 3 spots.
Let me put him at 8. At number 9, I got Pat Mahomes. At number 8, I got Brock Purdy.
I don't want to sway the list, but I'm just saying. Go ahead.
You're not swaying. I didn't know what to do either way. Pat Mahomes didn't play. Pat Mahomes is the better player. Nobody would argue that. But Pat Mahomes hasn't had
some man. No, I'm just talking. Pat
Mahomes hasn't had the best season in the world so far. If you look at the stats, Justin Fields has had better stats so far, but obviously he's not had the better season.
Yeah.
But so 10 Kirk, 9 Pat, 8 Brock Purdy. At 7, a guy that was lower last week but had a hell of a game. The Patriots defense just did nothing to slow him down. I got CJ Stroud.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't have much to say. I think that's fine.
And the other guy that jumped over Brock Purdy is Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had himself a hell of a game.
And he wasn't on the list last week, was he?
He was 9.
Okay. And I swear I might have said I think he should be a little higher, but no. I think not Brock. Baker has played his ass off this season, so he definitely deserves to be as high as he is now.
I could see if you wanted to put Baker at 5 and put Sam Darnold at 6 because Darnold didn't play, but
he's coming off of the bad game, the not so good game, then a bye week. Yeah, so I probably would have moved Baker above Sam Darnold, but it's your list. It's a Smallz list, so keep going.
I'm not gonna move Darnold. I had him at 5 last week, and though he didn't play and though he was bad last week, I'm gonna keep Darnold at 5. It's sad to see that his MVP momentum is probably going to drop a whole hell of a lot. But if he comes back next week, and I think you said they have a good game. You said the Bills or something like that.
The Lions. So in
the
division.
Lions. Oh yeah. If he beats the Lions, he'll be right back in that conversation.
Absolutely.
And we'll probably jump up on this list.
Absolutely.
And then my top 4 didn't have much change. At number 4, I have Josh Allen once again.
Fair.
But here is one change that we have. At 3, I have Joe Burrow.
And I can't be mad at you. I cannot be mad at you. I know what you're about to say. At number 2?
At number 2, I have the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the best quarterback in the entire NFC,
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels.
Whoa! Let's chill. Let's chill on there's some established guys, let's just I've always been a guy that didn't want to put rookies it's weird. I'm weird when it comes to ranking rookies and like saying they're top whatever. But
Me too.
I get what I can't even hate on you for saying it. I cannot hate on you for saying it. He's looked amazing. But I will say
he changed the entire culture of a team.
And number 1 is obviously Lamar Jackson. And I can't
Yes.
say anything about that. But who was number 10 on the list?
Kirk,
I love you. Caleb Williams is on your ass. Caleb Williams is on your ass. I was gonna say I don't know if Caleb would sneak on, but yeah, he's making his way.
Last week I didn't have really many honorable mentions. This week I have Jordan Love, who could very well be in there next week.
I feel like if he didn't miss those 2 games, he definitely would be on this list.
Exactly. I have Geno Smith, who unfortunately fell this week. But
absolutely fair, yeah.
He could bounce back. Jared Goff has been very good.
Also, I've seen a lot of hate when after Geno had that bad game, people were coming back to the video and going off on your list like Geno shouldn't be on here anymore. Like, that's just so crazy to wait till Geno plays bad, then to go back and say something, but continue.
Jared Goff,
yeah,
and then Caleb Williams, and maybe Aaron Rodgers, but it's not. It's pretty much 4 honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And Love, Goff, Geno, and Caleb.
I think I'm gonna make a guess for next week. I think Caleb makes his way into the top 10 of your list. Wait, no, the Bears are on a bye.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bears don't play, so never mind. I was gonna say Caleb and Jared Goff, so I'm just gonna stick to just Jared Goff then. I think Jared Goff makes his way into the top 10 this week. Jordan Love, I could see it, but I think Jared Goff has the better case strictly because, like I said, if Jordan didn't miss those 2 games, I think he's comfortably on this list, probably like 7, 6, something like that. But I think Jared Goff will be the next one to move in, then Jordan Love.
The only thing is, for somebody to move in, somebody has to move out. And Kirk can move out pretty easily, but does Pat Mahomes fall out of the top 10?
Pat Mahomes and Brock Purdy play each other next week, so if one has a bad game, I could see one falling out. Who would you have at, you had them 9 and 8. Who was 7?
CJ.
Oh, CJ's not falling out the top 10. So, yeah, it's really from 8 to 10. Those are the 3 that could probably fall out. So, yeah, like I said, the Chiefs and Niners play each other. So, if one has a bad, if it's a blowout one way or the other, I can see that quarterback falling out.
It won't be this week, but if Sam Darnold keeps Sam Darnolding, he could fall out as well.
So. Yeah, absolutely, because I think with Sam Darnold, if he has another bad game, you have to drop him heavily. It's not like, Lamar Jackson, you had a bad game. It's Sam Darnold, because we know what he's been in the past, so you have to kind of take that into account.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to
exactly. But so I think if he has a bad game, you have to weigh that a little more than others. Sorry to say, Sam, but you're graded on a different scale than everyone else. But yeah.
So to recap the list, at 10 I have Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
At 9 I have Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
At 8 I have Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I'm sorry. At 10 I have Kirk Cousins. At 9 I have Pat Mahomes. At 8 I have Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
At 7 I have CJ Stroud.
Yep.
At 6 I have Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
At 5 I have Sam Darnold. 4 I have Josh Allen. 3 is Joe Burrow. 2 is Jaden Daniels. And 1 is the best quarterback in football, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, man, bro. Man, you gonna stop saying that. Stop.
The best quarterback in football. The best player in football.
We're not gonna do this though, but I think that's it for us. We gotta, I hope you guys enjoyed Thursday Night Football. From now till the next time you see us, you probably won't, but we'll see you guys on what is it gonna be, Friday. Like, comment, subscribe.
For anybody who has gotten to this point,
go ahead. Yep.
There's no reason for you to really watch the short form content because you saw everything here. But if you scroll by it, just leave us a like, leave us a comment. We appreciate all the love.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I definitely get it. If you scroll past the TikTok, it's like, oh, I watched the episode, I seen it, but just double tap it. Doesn't take anything. Leave a like. Yeah. Just like it. If you want to leave a comment, just say something. Doesn't matter what. Don't be out of hand, but just leave a comment, say something. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. We're 1 away from 50. Smallz said whoever the 50th sub is, he has a little surprise for you. I don't know what that is. It could be a little gift card. I'm not going to leak anything.
A mansion in Calabasas.
Smallz did say he has something for the 50th subscriber. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Maybe this friend that you tell it to will share the earnings with you, you know, that Smallz gives him. But
earnings.
But no, like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And we'll see you guys on Friday.
Deuce.